Before the video starts, please follow and like for more content like this. In November of 1979, on a cold and foggy morning in the quiet town of Livingston, Scotland, a man named Robert Taylor left his home for what should have been an ordinary day at work. Taylor was not a conspiracy theorist, not a storyteller, not a man who sought attention. He was a forestry worker, a simple, honest man who spent his life walking through the woods. But what he encountered that day would become one of the most disturbing and controversial incidents in UFO history. A case so strange, so physical, that it became the only alleged alien encounter ever investigated by police as an actual crime. Today, we're going deep into the Robert Taylor incident, the alien abduction that became a criminal investigation. The encounter. At around 10:30 a.m., Taylor arrived at Deckmont Law, a wooded hill he inspected regularly. The air was still. Birds were quiet. And the forest felt unnaturally calm. As he walked, he noticed something unusual through the trees. A dark metallic sphere, floating. He later described it as being about 20 feet wide, with a strange texture like sandpaper, and a ring of smaller openings around its surface, almost like pores. It hovered silently in the clearing. Taylor stood frozen. This wasn't an aircraft. It wasn't a weather balloon. It wasn't anything he had ever seen. Then, something terrifying happened. Two smaller metallic spheres dropped from the object. They had spikes sticking out of them, almost like mines from a war movie. They began rolling toward him, fast. Before he could react, the spiked spheres latched onto his legs. He felt a powerful force drag him across the ground. His breath choked. He lost control of his body. His vision went black. Robert Taylor passed out in the forest, lying alone in the dirt. When he woke up, when he regained consciousness, the objects were gone. He struggled to stand but found his clothes ripped, his legs bruised, and the forest floor marked with deep impressions, like heavy machinery had been there. He tried to start his truck, but it wouldn't move. So he stumbled home, injured, confused, and terrified. His wife saw him and panicked. His clothes were torn, his face was white, and he looked like someone who had just survived an attack. She called the police. The criminal investigation. When officers arrived at the scene, they didn't find a story. They found evidence. In the clearing were strange tracks, circular patterns, and marks in the soil that did not match any known vehicle. The ground was flattened in a perfect geometry. See pattern. Police officially recorded the incident as an assault by an unknown entity. This became the first, and only, UFO encounter treated as a criminal case. Theories. Over the decades, investigators proposed explanations. Hallucination? Impossible. His physical injuries were real. Natural gas pockets? Wouldn't rip clothing or leave geometric marks. Secret military craft? No evidence. A staged hoax? Taylor was known as quiet, honest, and humble. No theory fit. And Taylor never changed his story, not once, until he died in 2007. The unsettling part. Why would the police take this case so seriously? Simple. There was physical evidence. Real injuries. Real soil disturbances. A man with nothing to gain, and everything to lose. Over 40 years later, the mystery of Robert Taylor remains unsolved, and skeptics still can't explain why a UFO encounter left behind forensic traces that investigators could not dismiss. In a world full of fabricated stories and internet hoaxes, this case stands out as one of the most credible and chilling encounters ever recorded.